Hello and welcome to Competology Academy. And today we are going to discuss our next part of the personalities of Jharkhand. That is part 3, and it is going to be very important being in accordance with the exams that are conducted by Jharkhand government. So these are the personalities who were active in the freedom struggle of India between 1857 and 1947. We have already discussed about the personalities who were active before 1857 or who were active during the period of 1857. So here these were the personalities who were active between 1857 and 1947, and here it becomes very important from the point of view of JPSC or any other exam that is conducted by Jharkhand government. So here let us start with the discussion, and the first personality is Babu Ram Narayan Singh, who was born on 19th of December 1885 in the Tetaria village of Chatra district. However, at that very time there was no such Chatra district, but the district that was at that very time was Hazaribagh district itself. There was no such Chatra district during that period. But nowadays, in accordance with the present time, we have to mark Chatra district as the place of birth of बाबू राम नारायण सिंह. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे क्या है, he took part in NCM and CDM movement, non cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement, and he served rigorous imprisonment several times from the year 1921 to 1944. So basically he was active in the NCM, which started in 1920. Thereafter CDM started, thereafter the Quit India movement started. So the whole period was a period of struggle during which he was in and out of jail. He was facing imprisonment time and again due to being active in these freedom struggles. And at Ramgarh session of 1940, Mahatma Gandhi had conferred him with the title of Chota Nagpur Kesari because of his contribution in the freedom struggle. He was given the title of Chota Nagpur Kesari by Mahatma Gandhi in 1940 at the Ramgarh session. And the Ramgarh session of Congress becomes a very important historical event in the context of the history of Jharkhand, and you should go through it thoroughly because there may be questions in any of the exam which may be there, that may be conducted by the Jharkhand government, right? Now here he was elected to the Lok Sabha after independence. So due to his contribution in the freedom struggle, already he was a big leader in Congress itself, as well as he was very well accepted among the masses of this region, and that is why he was elected quite easily in the Lok Sabha after independence. And during his tenure, during his imprisonment, he wrote several books, and one of his famous book is Swaraj Lut Gaya. Swaraj Lut Gaya was one of his famous book which he had written and which is very popular. Now, next personality is Saraswati Devi, one of the most famous female leader in the history of Jharkhand in the context of the freedom struggle of Jharkhand. And here she was born on 5th February 1901 in Hazaribagh. In Hazaribagh town itself, she was born, and her father was a professor. Her father's name was Vishnu Dayal Lal Sinha. Vishnu Dayal Lal Sinha. So she was from a well family background, well educated, well versed in political theories. She was quite convenient in deciphering what is independence, what is communism, what is liberalism, what is equality, what is fraternity. And because of these knowledge and these educational base, she was able to motivate the common masses. She was able to generate a political will in her own, and that is why she was active, very active in the annihilation of Parda Pratha in the Hazaribagh district and in the surrounding regions. She started a movement in 1928 to eradicate the Parda Pratha in this region, which was quite successful. And because of this, what happened? The women started to come out of their house and join the mainstream politics. They participated in the freedom struggle of India, which provided a mass movement, a new empowerment to the freedom struggle, right? New force. And she was the first woman from Hazaribagh to go to jail on February 26, 1930. This was the date on which Swaraj Divas was being celebrated, right? That Swaraj Divas uh, uh, that Swaraj Divas was being celebrated on the resolution that was passed in Lahore at the Bank of Ravi by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru under his presidency in the Congress session, Lahore session, right? So this was the date on which Swaraj was being celebrated, and the British government was opposing and muzzling out this Swaraj Divas celebration. And in that context, during this celebration, she was arrested and she was sent to jail. She was jailed again during the salt satyagraha when she violated the salt law. Next time in 1937, what happened after her release from the jail? She became a very popular figure and she contested the election for the Bihar Legislative Assembly, right, from the Bhagalpur constituency, and she won the seat because first of all she was a popular personality, and next thing was what? She was very popular in the Congress leadership, Congress party also, right? And Congress itself was very popular among the masses. So under her leadership, Quit India movement was started in Hazaribagh on 11th August 1942. So when on 8th August 1942 the Quit India resolution was passed on in a Gwalia tank in Mumbai. Then what happened? The whole top leadership was arrested in one go overnight by the British administration, because that was the period of Second World War, and the British administration didn't wanted any mass movement within India, because India was also under threat of attack by the Japanese. So the British administration was of the view that at the present time we cannot afford a mass movement. So for that matter, what they did, they arrested the whole top leadership of the Congress, who might have provided the leadership to the Quit India movement. But what happened? That was not so fruitful for the British administration, and the local leadership took the movement in their hand. Locally, they started the Quit India movement, and in the same pattern, Saraswati Devi was providing the leadership to the Quit India movement in Hazaribagh. She started the movement on 11th August 1942, and she held the post of president of Hazaribagh District Congress also. She was the one of the first women who was holding this position of district congress head president, right? And she was a member of Bihar Legislative Council from 1946 to 1951. But what happened? At a young age of 57, she died on 10th December 1958, right? Now come to the next leader, that is Sakharam Ganesh Devskaran. Some of the people might be of the view that this looks like a Marathi name. Actually, it is a Marathi name, but then you may say that how he is in Jharkhand. That may be the question, and that's why this question becomes important, because such kind of tricky questions may be there in the paper. So be prepared for such kind of questions, right? So here he was born in a Maratha family in Cairo village of Devghar subdivision. Devghar subdivision के कैरो विलेज में इनका जन्म हुआ. He was born in a Maratha family. Actually, he was a Maratha. That's right. And how does they got to Jharkhand? How does they reached Devghar? So here the information is that 1743, this was the period when the Maratha had invaded Bengal, that was being ruled by Ali Wardi Khan. And during this invasion, what happened? Many of the Marathas settled in these regions, and the family of Sakharam Ganesh Devgar was one of the family who settled in Devgar during the Marathas invasion of Bengal during the reign of Ali Wardi Khan in 1743. तो इनसे कोई 1932 का कतियानी इनके फैमिली से मांगने मत पहुंच जाइएगा, ठीक है? 1743 का मिल जाएगा. सो इट विल बी प्रॉब्लमेटिक फॉर यू पीपल who will go on to ask to him about the Khatyan, right? चलिए, तो ये तो हो गए jokes apart. Here he was the mentor. He was the mentor of Bhupendranath Dutt, and Bhupendranath Dutt was his one of the main disciples, and he wrote several books in Bangla language. Because you may say that how does he was writing the books in Bengali language if he was residing in Devgar? But during this period, what was the situation? The even nowadays, the influence of the Bangla language is too much in the fringes, in the border areas which are nearby to the Bengal, and that is why he was also. And at that very time there was no such border event, so the people were moving to and fro to the Bengali region, to the Jharkhandi region or the Chota Nagpur region. So there was huge influence of Bengali language in this region, and because of that he was well versed in Bengali language, and he wrote several books in Bengali language. But among them, Deser Katha and Tilkare Mukadma were the notable creations that were written by Sakharam Ganesh Deuskar, right? And here Deser Katha was on the adverse consequences of the economic policies of British administration on the masses of India or on the Indian economy as a whole. So he was criticizing the economic policies of British government, and because of that what happened? His book was banned in India, and in 1910 AD the British government had to ban this book because he had done so much good analysis that it was striking the mind of the masses, and it had become so popular that the British government had to ban this book. Now Bajrang Sai, one of the famous personalities of Giridih, right? So at that very time this was also in Hazaribagh district. Nowadays it is in Giridih. So Bajrang Sahib played a leading role in Giridih in the national movement, and he was born on 1st December 1896 in Pachamba village. So this may be the question: in which village? What was the place of birth of Bajrang Sahib? So that was Pachamba village of Giridih district. And on October 6th, 1921, he was arrested for making a fiery speech at 16th session of Bihar Students Conference held in Hazaribagh. So basically this was the period of non-cooperation movement. So rallies, speeches and various other things was going on throughout India, and in the same period what had happened on 6th October 1921, the 16th conference of Bihar Student Conference was being held. 16th session was being held at Hazaribagh, in which he made fiery, very firebrand speech, and the British government said that he is inciting violence against the Britishers. and for that matter he got arrested, and he played an active role in Giridih during the salt satyagraha also. And Bajrang Sahai played an active role in the Quit India movement in 1942 also, and he died on December 18th, 1962. So he had died also at a young age. And now come to the next personality, that is Vinodanand Jha, and he is very famous because he was the first Jharkhandi. He was the first Jharkhandi chief minister of Bihar. He was the first Jharkhandi chief minister of Bihar, born on 17th April 1900 AD in Devghar, and he was instrumental in establishment of the Hindi Vidyapith in Devghar during the non-cooperation movement. So what was happening during the non-cooperation movement? Most of the people were boycotting the government establishments, they were boycotting the courts, they were boycotting the government services, government schools, government colleges, and many of the students and even their parents were of the view that they should move to the national schools. And in that same context, Hindi Vidyapith was established at Devghar to provide national education that was not influenced by the British government. And for that matter, he was instrumental in establishment of this Hindi Vidyapith in Devghar, and he was entrusted with the management of Bihar Provincial Swaraj Party of Santhal Pargana in 1923. So here you people should go on to comment, when does Bihar Swaraj Party was established, where it was established, and who were the two main leaders of Bihar Swaraj Party. And those who will answer the question correctly, I will pin their comment, right? So here Bihar Swaraj Party's management of Santhal Pargana region was under Vinodanand Jha, and he led the civil disobedience movement in Santhal Pargana also, and thereafter he provided the leadership during the Quit India movement also. So all the in common you can say that all those leaders, all those freedom fighters who were active during this period, they all provided the leadership to the non-cooperation movement, to the civil disobedience movement, to the Quit India movement. These were the three biggest movements in the freedom struggle of India, and all the leaders who were present, who were active during this time period, provided the leadership to these movements, right? And he was instrumental in the merger of Jharkhand party led by Jaipal Singh Munda. Want to comment what is the other name that is given to Jaipal Singh Munda? So Jaipal Singh Munda was the president of Jharkhand party, and the Jharkhand party during this period was the main opposition party in the Bihar Legislative Assembly. And that is why what happened, Vinodanand Jha tried to merge the Jharkhand party with Congress, and he was successful in that. And Jaipal Singh Munda got the ministry in the central government. However, Vinodanand Jha was rewarded with the post of chief minister by the Congress leadership of Bihar for the merger of Jharkhand party in Congress party, and he was the chief minister of Bihar from 1961 to 1963, and he died on 9th August 1971. Died on 9th August 1971. Now come to Krishna Ballabh Sahai. So the Krishna Ballabh Sahai was also a famous personality throughout Bihar, throughout India, but he was the most famous personality, and even nowadays he is a respected person in Hazaribagh also, right? So here Krishna Ballabh Sahai was the second Jharkhandi chief minister of Bihar. Everybody knows that, at least in Hazaribagh, right? And he was born on 31st December 1898. 31st December 1898. And his father's name was Babu Ganga Prasad. And he did his matriculation from Jilai School. Jilai School was also a national school that had started during the period of the British administration, right? So he did his matriculation from Jilai school, and thereafter he did his graduation from St. Columbus College. St. Columbus College of Hazaribagh. The history of St. Columbus College is very wide and very respectable history, you can say that, because it was in the initial stage registered with Dublin University, Ireland. Thereafter it moved to Kolkata University, thereafter Bihar University. Now it is registered with the Hazaribagh University, Vinoba Bhave University, Hazaribagh. So here did his graduation from St. Columbus College. Thereafter, he played an important role in the Hazaribagh during the non-cooperation movement. He was very active during this movement, as well as he challenged the salt law by making salt near Khajanchi Pond in Hazaribagh. So he had made the salt, he violated the salt law by making the salt at Hazaribagh at Khajanchi Pond. Khajanchi Talab उसको आज भी कहते हैं. Now it is in a deplorable condition, not so well maintained, and there is a need to do something for that, right? And he played an important role in the abolition of Jamindari system after the independence. After the independence, he became a minister, and during that period, he was very active and very vocal against the Jamindari system. He had contributed too much in the abolition or annihilation of the Jamindari system. And he was the chief minister of Bihar from 1963 to 1967. From 1963 to 1967, Krishna Vallabh Sahai was the chief minister of Bihar, and he died on 3rd June 1974. 3rd June 1974. Our next personality is Abdul Bari. Abdul Bari, one of the famous leader who was of socialist and communist outlook, and he was mainly vocal for the labor's rights and the labor's cause. And he was an activist of national movement and a strong supporter of communal harmony. He was against the communal animosity, but he was vocal for the communal harmony. भाईचारा और एकता की बात करते थे ये. And at that very time, when the Muslim League was propping up the people for the demand of separate nation state on the line of religious demand, right? So they got it, unfortunately. But what happened? He was against such of the demands, but he was very active in mobilizing the Muslims under the leadership of Congress. He was mobilizing the Muslims. He was providing the leadership to the Muslims to mobilize them under the leadership of Congress, which was a very commendable job for the unity. And in 1936, he also led the Tata Workers Union, because he was sympathetic to the cause of the laborers, to the workers, right? So here we finish off the discussion of the personalities of Jharkhand who were active in the freedom movement between 1857. Specifically, most of them were active between 1900 and 1947. And the next video, we will go on to discuss the other tribal personalities, tribal leaders of Jharkhand, or those leaders who were demanding for the separate state of Jharkhand and who were active in those movements. So thank you very much. And if you have watched the video till the end, then please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon also to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Go on to follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handle. This is our Telegram channel on which shortly we are going to provide the PDFs of these videos. These materials will be available over there. Go on to download our app also. From there also you will get various study materials, current affairs, question papers, test series, etc. And most of them are available free of cost, and the same things are available on our website also. So here we finish off. Please come back again for the next video. Thank you very much and have a nice day.